Welcome back. Now, it's one of those word-of-mouth hits that somehow sneaks in under the radar. Breaking Bad is the story of Walter White, played by the actor Bryan Cranston, a struggling high school chemistry teacher who's diagnosed with inoperable lung cancer and takes a very interesting career decision to switch to the manufacture of drugs to secure his family's financial future before he dies. The series creator is Vince Gilligan. He'll be appearing at the Edinburgh International Film Festival this Friday. But before he does, he dropped in to Channel 4 News. Meet Walter White, a chemistry lecturer. Bored, boring, an all-round good guy. Then he's hit by a crushing blow.
You understood what I've just said to you?
Yes. Lung cancer. Inoperable.
Desperate to find a way of providing for the family he'll leave behind, the chemistry teacher turns crystal meth maker. Walter is on the way to Breaking Bad, a southern colloquialism describing someone taking a turn off the straight and narrow. We watch as Walter White's soul turns black. He adopts the alias Heisenberg, his crimes ever bolder and grimmer. Is he still just a decent man turned desperate, or is he enjoying the pain his choices inflict on others?
These are rare green beans, Mrs. White.
The series mixes the mundane of domestic life with the graphic violence of the drug underworld, and all interspersed with episodes of dark comedy. It's a mix which has won it cult status here and in America. It's won 7 Emmys and a host of industry awards. Now heading towards the end of its 5-season run, there is no bigger or more talked about show. In the US, the finale could be the biggest original TV event since the end of The Sopranos. As an idea, it seems utterly incredible, but chemistry lecturer turns crystal meth producer, a very successful one. I mean, why does it work in a sense? Because it's so fantastic and yet works in the sort of real-life context extremely well, doesn't it?
This is going to sound strange to say, but I think Breaking Bad, on some level, for fans, represents a certain amount of wish fulfillment. Not that people have a wish to sell crystal meth, which is a terrible drug that destroys whole communities, but wish fulfillment in the sense that Walter White is a character who has spent the first 50 years of his life afraid, just fearing everything, you know, jumping at shadows. And in the first episode, perversely, when he gets the cancer diagnosis, a fatal diagnosis, it frees him. He
says, "I'm awake," doesn't he?
He says, "I'm awake," and it lifts this fear that he's worn as some sort of terrible overcoat for many decades. It lifts it away, and he becomes fearless. And I think in that sense, not in the drug sense, not in necessarily the criminal sense, but in the freedom from fear sense, I think it represents some level of wish fulfillment. Early on, he is offered, in the first season, in fact, the first few episodes, he is offered an out. He is offered in an almost deus ex machina fashion. He's offered, an old friend comes in and says, "I'm going to pay for your cancer treatment. I'm going to give you a job, no strings attached. You're going to make a lot of money. It's all going to be good." And he refuses, and it seems to be, the way I see it, it's because of pride. It's because of ego that he refuses. So he would rather, in the early going, cook crystal meth and be a criminal than take the charity that his friend offers. And that pretty much puts the lie to the idea that what he does for his family.
Do you think there's a Heisenberg in all of us? Is there one in you?
There probably is one in me. I can't speak for everyone. I won't speak for everyone. I don't have the right to, but there probably is a little Heisenberg in me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come up with this story. I think the overlap between me and Walter White is probably greater than I would like to admit. But I think I'm more the fearful pre-Heisenberg Walter White than the post freedom from fear criminal. So
what's the most Heisenberg-like thing you've ever done?
Gosh, oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I have a great answer to that. I'm very boring in real life.
You're doing well out of that. It's working.
It's done well for me. I have a pretty vivid imagination, and my law breaking happens on the page, on the computer.
There's a lot of violence, very grim violence, at a time when this is another massive issue that America is grappling with. Sure. I mean, how do you feel about that morally?
Well, first of all, Breaking Bad is not a show for everybody. It's certainly not a show for children. I do not lose any sleep at night portraying violence, except if and when if we were to portray violence without consequence. That would be something I would feel very wrong about doing.
I mean, one of the things looking at the series, which is almost over, is where did this crazy, almost absurd idea come from?
I think, in hindsight, it was a show about a man having the world's worst midlife crisis. And I think I was about to turn 40 years, I know I was about to turn 40 years old when the idea came to me. And I think, in hindsight, I was thinking in terms of what will my midlife crisis be like, and therefore I came up with Walter White.
And did you have your chemistry teacher in mind?
I hate to admit, but I'm going to admit now on UK television that I never in my life took a day of chemistry. It was,
and just finally, how does it end? I won't tell anybody.
You won't tell anybody? Okay.
Secret safe with me.
Well, no, I think it's best to let people watch it.
Vince Gilligan, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's it from us. You can contact me on Twitter at JackieLongC4, and Channel 4 News continues online, channel4.com/news. We're back tomorrow at 7, but until then, that's Channel 4 News. Good evening.